When we return, we have the new head coach of Bowling Green volleyball, Alex DelPiombo. We talk about her career, taking over the program, and what's next for the Falcons. Chasing the Game starts right now. Welcome into Chasing the Game. I am joined by BGSU's newest head volleyball coach, Alex DelPiombo. Alex, thank you so much for coming on here. We have been trying to set this up now for a month since you've been hired. What's it been like the past month for you? Obviously, I'm assuming it's been busy. What's it been like for you taking over the program?
It's been crazy. A lot to do, but in a good way. One of my favorite parts of the past month is the amount of support I feel like myself and our program has had. Our players have been fantastic through the transition. Just this time of year is kind of always busy, and then it just added a few layers with the transition and hiring and things like that. But so excited.
What's the culture like for BGSU volleyball? For the people who don't know, obviously there's this legacy. Denise Vanderwall, Danielle Tomich. What's that culture like for people who don't understand it?
I think that one of the biggest things we've been able to build at BG is connecting our program with the community. That's what I think makes Bowling Green special, and I think we've made the volleyball program a great representative of the community. We believe in giving back to them, they give to us, and I think that's a really special piece of what we have as a foundation of who we are at BGVB.
Yeah, I don't think you see that at other MAC programs necessarily. There's been very successful programs. You guys obviously have had so many decades of success now that there really is this great alumni base. There's people who are really obviously very excited about it. I think you guys set an attendance record last season. It's just been crazy to see what BG volleyball has become over the last few years. What was the process like to become a head coach for you? Obviously, there was such a great tournament run that you guys had in December. Danielle Tomich takes the job at Cincinnati, and then next thing you know, before Christmas, you're the head coach. What was that process like to go from Coach Tomich is taking the Cincinnati job to now you're the new head coach? Yeah,
I think it was a lot of things. It started years ago. It started years ago with her being a great mentor to me and knowing that this is what I wanted and putting me in positions to be ready for this. It would be a different scenario if I wasn't allowed to have kind of the responsibilities that I had going into it. But a lot of people, it was really fast. We didn't do any of this until we were done with the NIVC. So it was a 48-hour kind of turnaround. And I'm fortunate enough that our athletic director was really clear with communication with me and made me feel really secure and sound in a decision for me to take over. And the rest is history.
Yeah. What is Coach Tomich like for the people who don't know? Obviously, she's, kind of created a legend status for herself in Bowling Green.
Sure.
She's very acerbic. She's very forthright. And people love that about her. I certainly love that about her. What is she like? You were obviously very close to her over however many 9 seasons at Bowling Green.
Yeah, she's all of those things. But also, I think the biggest thing for me, great mentor. She really believes and loves the piece of developing. And it's not just with the players, but it was with us as her staff. And every year we would sit down and she'd have really constructive but caring feedback on all right, this is where, if you want this is where we got to get better, or let's take this opportunity, let's get into fundraising, or things that maybe other assistants aren't a part of to help me be prepared. But that mentorship and caring was something that I was fortunate to see every day.
Yeah, what's the fundraising part of it like? Because obviously I think that's a thing that most coaches don't think about necessarily is the fundraising part. But fundraising is, I believe, what got you guys the brand new court surface that you got. It really leads to a lot of impressive things when you think about a program that has the support that you guys have.
Yeah, and fundraising is kind of a hot term, especially in the new landscape of college athletics. But we like to look at it. I like to look at it as relationship building. The fundraising is the byproduct of relationships in the community, relationships with our program, and relationships with our players. I think that they're our biggest asset, they're our biggest sell, if you will, and just letting people see maybe what their donation or their support of our program in any form does for great, strong young women is the big piece of fundraising.
Yeah. What was that like, first priority when you guys take over? Was it fundraising? Was it recruiting, relationship building with the players? What was kind of the first priority when you took over?
I think the first thing was the team. I have a relationship with all of them. That's been something that I've always cared about in my career, no matter what stage I've been at. Relationships with the players is my favorite piece of it. And being the recruiting coordinator, I started those relationships with not just them, but their families in the beginning. That was priority number one. And then priority number two was making sure our community knew that we were going to keep going forward, that I was ready, that things aren't going to change in a drastic way. I think I'll be different. I don't always know how yet, but making sure that they know that our values and who we are and what they love about our program is going to stay consistent.
Is that kind of the message to players or recruits, potential recruits, when you're talking to them? I don't know how many living rooms you're going into all the time, but what's it like? Because you have recruited people who are right down the road, the Eastwood, the Michigan girls, there are people all across the world, people from Eastern Europe. What is that like, kind of going into someone's living room or maybe talking to someone on the phone and being like, hey, I think you should come here to Bowling Green?
Yeah, I think it's really natural for me because I was part of the build and I was part of those values, and I believed in them, and they matter to me too. So it was a lot of Daniela's vision, but also I was all on board, and I was a piece of that build and finding it in our recruits. I think that what's important in really strong programs is making sure you're transparent with who you are. Not everybody wants to be as committed as what we require. Not everybody wants to spend as much time as we do together to build that culture. And I think being really true to who you are and clear about it is the most important piece.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're getting kind of a head start as opposed to if you were coming into a brand new program, having to, get up to speed with everything? Do you feel like, the 9 years as an associate or an assistant head coach have you're in a way better position, emotionally than if you were trying to start somewhere new?
I think so. I think starting new can have its benefits, but for me, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I feel like one of the luckiest first-time head coaches that have existed, not just to be in a community and with a team that I know, but the support I've gotten is unmatched, and I'm very aware of how rare that is, and I'm grateful for it every single day.
Yeah, you're obviously coming from down the road at St. Mary's Central Catholic. You're a Monroe girl.
Yeah.
Was that always the plan, was to try to make your way back here? Did it just sort of happen that way? How did you kind of get to Bowling Green?
Yeah, actually it wasn't. I remember my family would tell me, like, go see the world. It's a huge world out there. Go see it. And I used to think, I'm going to go anywhere. But then when Bowling Green came back and I was able to come back, and I was kind of proven wrong. Being able to have my family around, I have an amazing family support system, but just also people that I've known, like I've recruited players from Bedford, where I've known that head coach since I was a little kid in her gym. And just having those relationships have made it really, really special. And it's been more than I thought in a great way.
Yeah. What's that community like for the people who don't know? Not everyone's familiar with, the St. Mary's Central Catholic. You obviously grew up in that and played softball, volleyball. What's that athletic community like?
It's high achieving. We won state championships. The program's still great. They won a state championship this year. And Southeast volleyball is really strong. The club coaches that I played for run the arguably best club in the nation now. So there's a lot of connections in the area with volleyball specifically that have been really beneficial. And it's been cool to see those relationships it sounds cheesy, but to pay off in recruiting, but they're really real and authentic. And that's awesome for me to get to have real relationships, help in your job, but also help in building great people.
Yeah, that goes back to the relationship thing you were talking about. What is it about, and that's another thing, the Southeast Michigan volleyball scene, obviously, the club play there, the number of highly touted recruits. I mean, you got some great players that have come out of there. What is that like, the Southeast Michigan volleyball scene? It seems like, Indiana high school basketball, what is that kind of like?
Yeah, it's huge. Volleyball is the cool thing to do, and it was like that when I played. Everybody wants to play club in order to make their high school team. High school runs matter a ton. I think it's really special. It's always been a sport that I've loved, and I think it's really cool in the time of growth of volleyball nationally. I feel like our area is ahead because volleyball's been on that kind of upward turn for a really long time.
Is it starting to be like basketball, where it's starting to be like in basketball, high school at least, AAU is like the primary driver of getting recruited. Is club volleyball now the primary driver of getting recruited over high school? Kind of tell me about that.
Absolutely. Club is special because you have the best of the best every weekend, every day in your gym. So it's a way to accelerate growth. If you're not the best player all the time, you get better. And that's what club volleyball allows athletes to do. It allows you to get pushed. It allows you to go across the country and play people that are better than you. And I think that push and failure in a good way is how growth happens.
Yeah. What is it like, X's and O's on the court? Do you feel like you're going to do anything differently or try to reemphasize something that since you've taken over that you were doing under Tomic?
I don't think so. I've been really conscious, and I'm going to continue to be really conscious of making sure I'm not somebody different for our team. Just because I've moved over a seat means I'm still Alex, and that's going to stay the same. There might be some things that maybe we do a little bit different in practice, or I don't know, my staff might have some great ideas with scouting that we didn't think of before. But one thing we always have done in our program is try to grow. And not everything has to be, there's things that we believe in that have made us great, but not everything has to be the same all the time. It's okay to develop and get better. And I think that that'll be more of a natural progression than like an overhaul.
Yeah, and you just touched on it, your staff. You guys just announced today you're adding 2 new people to the staff.
Yeah.
Tell me about them, Chelsea and Alexa. Who are they? Just what do they add to this program?
Yeah, I'm so excited about both of them. Chelsea Carter is actually a former player of mine from when I coached at Samford University. She was a stud player, stud athlete, and a really good person. And I'm so excited she chose to come be part of our staff. And I think she's already doing such a great job of connecting with the players. And she brings a lot of credibility with her talent. And it's been funny watching her step in and demo something, and the girls are kind of like, oh, you weren't joking, she's good, huh? But just great personality, and she cares a lot about them as people and helping them achieve whatever goals they have. And Alexa, I think, is so unique, and I'm really grateful her having head coaching experience. She's been at a lot of different levels with different challenges and opportunities, and I think that she's really smart and able to find solutions to things. And so I'm excited to have both of them be a part of our staff. And I think that we do a good job of balancing each other, and we'll see where it goes. I'm really excited.
What were those conversations like trying to get them to join? Did it take much convincing for them to join, or was it just, hey, this is BG volleyball, this is, the crown, program of the MAC? What was that like trying to get them to come over? Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I felt very fortunate when they both came on their interviews. They kind of thought we were being fake. They were like, your girls are this nice. People around here are this supportive. Your administration supports you like that. I'm like, this is our everyday. So I believe in transparency. There's always challenges at every university. It doesn't matter where you're at, but both of them are really excited. And I think that that's what matters. I want people part of our program that are excited to be part of our program. I don't want to beg anyone. I do that in recruiting too. And it kind of just fit.
Yeah. The tournament run that you guys made last time, I didn't really get into it, but I want to kind of break down. It's really incredible what you guys were able to do with the NIVC last year. What was that run like, just from an associate head coach perspective? You're underneath Tomic, you got this great run that you guys are going on. What was that like from your perspective?
It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, I think. Our players loved it. It was really cool, the locations we got to go to. I'm sorry. It was really cool, the locations we got to go to, going from Chicago to New York to Arizona. The team totally embraced it, and it made it really special to just get to keep spending time together.
Yeah. What is it about, the players that, no, you're fine. As you mentioned, they're so nice. Is that something that you guys have tried to instill in them? Is that just the kind of quality of person that you find when you're out on the recruiting trail? Where does that come from?
I think it's important when you're recruiting. Who you are isn't going to change drastically once you get to us. So making sure that we recruit sound people is at the forefront of recruiting for us.
Yeah, and you guys obviously are. No, you're fine. No, you're doing fine. Attendance is another thing. You guys have obviously tried to, generate attendance and interest in it. Do you feel like other MAC programs are doing it the way that you guys are doing it, or where do you kind of see BG kind of standing among the MAC?
Well, I think that the numbers show we lead it. I think that that's a part of our success. We have great ticket and operating people that put up a great environment for our fans. Our team invests in the community, so the community invests back in us. And I hope other MAC programs do that. I want MAC to be great volleyball. I think our blueprint's really good, and I want to keep growing it. I think we all want to keep growing it, but there's something different about Stro. When you come in there, it feels different. And sometimes we go on the road and we're matching the amount of attendance other people have, and it's really special.
Yeah. Do you feel like, are there other programs that could kind of learn from what you guys are doing? Do you feel like you kind of set the example for them?
Maybe. I hope so. I try hard not to get into us versus them or whoever, because who we are is special to Bowling Green. I think what we do really well is who the university is, who President Rogers is as a leader. We're part of it. And other people got to kind of follow their own paths, but ours is special, and we're going to try to use it the best we can to keep being great.
Yeah. If you had to, and I'll kind of wrap up with this, if you had to, kind of define the priorities, the qualities of this program, what would you say that is? I know that's a very interviewee question.
Sure.
What would you kind of describe this program as?
I think it's really authentic. I think that's my favorite part about who we are as a program. A lot of people, culture is kind of a hot word. Family is a hot word in college athletics, but I think that it's really authentic and genuine. And when you come watch a game and you see our team genuinely excited for each other, it's a feeling. And I think that matters a lot.
Yeah. Alex, anything else that people can look forward to as we get ready for the 2025 season? I know the schedule hasn't been released yet, but what can people expect just in terms of on-court play? What can they expect out of this team?
I think our team's going to continue to work hard, and we're going to continue to be excellent at doing all the little things really well and doing it the right way. That's something that I love about our program. We're going to continue to be hard workers, great teammates, and do things the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex DelPiombo, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Chasing the Game. Be sure to check out our other episodes on the WTOL 11 Plus app and on YouTube. We'll see you guys next time.